a player, but you are also one of our servers that's caught in this unique situation
Right
in
on. Bartender,
ma-
yeah.
many bars. I know you have a very unique and a unique story, a real story, and I'm sure everybody wants to hear it. So let me just check in. Let's see who we have coming into our live stream. The, the guys. As they flood in, they could always rewind back out, but we're going to start getting into it a little bit. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions,
No, go
and
for it. Shoot.
you can run with it. Well, the first question that everybody wants to know is, where do you rate Ryan Danella? Scale of 1 to 10. Go ahead. You can do that first.
Ryan's an excellent player, actually. He likes to have fun, but
Not
I'd rate
just
him up at like
player.
an eight or
Oh,
nine. I'm sorry, Mr. DTF, the king of the
8 or
league. I apologize.
9. That is a very, very high.
Eight or
I'm
nine.
sure he's going to be happy to hear that, even though he's not with me today on this. So let's get into a little bit of the backstory. Tell him who you are, Big Mike Boogie, Mike McClellan, and tell us a little bit about you. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you take the mic over for a minute.
I mean, where do I start? Born and raised Monmouth County, all over the place. Went to North, then moved out to Howell. Graduated Howell High School. I don't know if anybody cares about my high school career.
There you go. You never
um,
know.
but but yeah, I mean, was working class, I guess. Never had it too easy. Never had it too smooth. Moved around a lot. Never really. I don't know.
So,
Where do you want to get started here?
all right.
Like childhood? You want to get started like?
Yeah, wherever you want. All right. So, kick it off. Did you post North? Did you attend college? Did you go away for school? Did you stay local? Did you start
Right
working right
on.
out of high school?
Well, I actually moved out to Howell and finished out my high school career in Howell High School. Graduated in '98.
Okay.
Um,
Shout out to Hal. We got a bunch of players down
Shout
there.
out to Hal. But after Hal, I got right into the working. Right into working, and I was never really pushed into college or anything. My mother was never. I didn't have a great like family home supportive life.
So go ahead and
So
tell
I
us a
kind
little
of
bit
like.
about it, Mike. We want to know about you. It doesn't have to be all jokes with us. People, I'm sure, are interested in your whole story. So go ahead. Feel free to
All
share.
right. I mean, this is me in a nutshell, man. I mean, starting off like I I never met my dad.
Okay.
He split with my mom before I was born. Grew up with my mom till I was about 5. She met my stepdad. He wasn't a great guy, alcoholic, pretty abusive to me verbally and whatnot. Never grew up as like a real confident kid. Um,
Which is funny because you exude a lot of confidence, like out and about. I feel like people definitely feel that.
well, that's the thing. That's the thing, man. That's the act. That's the
Yeah,
act that we all put on. When we're not, non-confident people act the most confident. The most confident people are all quiet.
that's the truth. That's the truth. I agree with you
You know what I
there.
mean? So it's like, that was my shtick, in school or whatnot. I was always the funny overweight kid that, was friends with everybody but never really had a solid friend base.
Oh wow. Okay. See, we didn't know that either. This is all interesting stuff. So
It's I
now,
mean,
so now you went through that. Had a little bit of a tough home life, and then post high school. What'd you want to do? What'd you want to be after that, or did you not too sure?
for getting into broken dreams, I always I always wanted to be, an actor, comedian, something like that. I grew up a big pop culture nerd. Like I grew up on VHSs of, Saturday Night Live, The Kids in the Hall, stuff like that. I was always interested in that, but I never had the confidence to pursue it. So, just a professional appreciator, I guess.
All right. I dig it. I dig it. So now, when first job, would you first get
My
into?
first my first job, I was 12 years old, was at the Keensburg Boardwalk. I lied, had to say I was 13. Uh, I ran a cigarette stand and a T-shirt stand. They were right across from each other.
Oh wow, the Keensburg Boardwalk. Wow, that's really
Keensburg
interesting.
Boardwalk. Yeah, a lot of characters there, my man.
Yeah,
Then
I'm
I moved on
sure.
to. Then I worked at a couple little like mom and pop places here and there. But then I was a manager at Blockbuster when I turned 18, which is a very old-fashioned statement.
Oh wow. Okay, that's a shout out. You know,
Eating,
RJ was actually a Blockbuster employee too. That's how he knew Rick Allman, one of Ryan's friends. And it's crazy, right? Blockbuster, I guess, plays a part. Go ahead.
well, a little bit more exciting story. I actually used to hang out um, with Brian Lynch. He wasn't big back then,
Okay.
but he is the writer of the Minions movie. He's the writer of the new Grinch movie. Like he's huge in Hollywood right now.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I hung out with him, Andy Milonakis, Keith Miller, like a bunch of cool cats back then. Man, we were all Blockbuster kids.
Really? That's pretty crazy. That's definitely pretty
Yeah,
crazy. So then
yeah.
Blockbuster leads you where?
Um, Blockbuster doesn't really lead me anywhere. But back when I was 18, 19, I was real virile. So I would work day shift at Blockbuster, then go across the street to the mall and work at Pacific somewhere, back when it was called that, until like 10, 11 at night. And I would go back across the street to White Castle and work the overnight shift at White Castle.
Oh wow, so you busting your ass. Now were you living at home at this time?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you just preferred being at
Well,
work more than it.
well, I've always been more of like a couch surfer. Like I've always like I've always had a place to stay, like with friends or whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I mean, not until I was in my early 30s did I actually get my own spot and all that jazz. I've never really been the responsible type.
Really, more nomadic. What led you?
Way more nomadic.
There you go. What led you into the whole bartending and bartending life? Well, even before that, poker. What brought you into poker? What happened first, bars or poker with you? P.S. Heather
Well,
Butt says
bartending
thank you
life
for
kind of led
sharing your
me.
story. It's way honest.
No, right on. Well, the bartending life kind of led me into the poker life. I started off bartending at Clancy's in Neptune, back when they first opened back in 2002. I was there for a few years, and then I moved back out to Howell, and I was a bartender at the Chapter House, and that's what got me into poker. A couple friends there, they did some home games. They taught me how to play, and I was hooked since then. I've been playing poker since probably 2004.
Okay. All right. So it's definitely been a while. And then when did you first get into the bar life? Like to the bartending, bar back waitering. I'm not sure what.
Uh, Clancy's 2003,
Oh,
2002,
in '03.
2003. Yeah.
Okay. So it went from three to four, and then I was almost simultaneously the two things came together. So
Yeah.
go ahead,
Um,
tell us a little bit more about your story. So it went from, so now you started working there. Did you go ahead? I'm gonna let you do it. I'm not even gonna lead you
yeah,
through it.
just like anybody's life, live with this, was in a relationship, lived with a girl, was in this place, got out of the relationship, moved away, got into, another relationship, was in, but pretty much, I mean, from Clancy's, I went to, like I said, Chapter House in Howell, and then I moved. That was in Shrewsbury for a while, and I bartended at the bowling alley right in Shrewsbury. There were memory lanes until it burnt down. I don't know if anybody
Okay.
remembers that in the area.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's when I moved out to Philly. I moved out to Philly 2005, with my best friend, who later became my fiance, who later became my ex fiance.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we were best friends since we were 12. Um, and over the years, she's been through boyfriends and fiancés, and I've been through girlfriends and whatnot, and just we ended up finally getting together, and ended up not working out.
Gotcha.
And so I stayed in Philly. She moved back home. I was out there for a while bartending at Dave and Buster's, which was a fucking blast.
Yeah, you enjoyed it.
Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, it was a good time. It was corporate, but it was actually kind of fun. Um, we used to have like parking lot parties out in the fucking parking lot every night after work. But anyway, yeah, and that's when I was out in Philly, and actually I was moving back out to Jersey, and my last day in Philly is when I met my son's mother. The very last day.
Oh wow. I thought that was gonna be the fiance. So now,
No, not at all whatsoever.
gotcha. So now you meet your son's mom. How'd that play out?
I mean, it was my going away party at the bar that I was bartending at. It was literally my last day in Philly. I was moving to Jersey the next day. We met, as drunken people in a bar do. We had shots. We made out. Um, I stayed at her place that night.
One thing leads to
Uh,
another.
One thing leads to another. We kept in contact. I ended up moving back to Philly for a couple weeks under some weird circumstances.
Oh, I thought that
Uh,
night was gonna be the conception. I thought you were gonna give me the That was it.
No, definitely not. Could have been, but wasn't. Um, yeah, and ended up coming back there for a few weeks. We had, and we got more solid when we were out there, and then I had to move back to Jersey, and she wanted to come with me, so brought her out to Jersey with me. And
Got
then we were living in a small trailer outside of my mother's house for a while, until I got on her feet, and then I got us a place in Bradley. I think the first night we were in that Bradley place is when my son was conceived.
Oh wow, there
Um,
you go. Nailed it.
yeah,
Now we got the date.
April 1st, I believe it was. Haha. Um, but she was young. She was younger than me. She got pregnant at 20. Had
Oh
my son
wow.
at 21. Yeah, I was a little, I'm about 9 years older than her.
Okay.
Um, she was in a weird place. Not weird, but foreign place. She didn't have any friends. She didn't have many friends. She didn't have any family out here.
Yeah.
So you know, so after a few months after my son was born, she asked, she was like, "Hey, I really want to move back to Philly. All my family's there. I feel really lonely here." So I did the right thing, and I got us an apartment in Philly, and I commuted every day from Philly to Freehold.
Oh wow. So
Every
back and
single
forth.
day I did that, back and forth. And after a few months, um, she cheated on me because I wasn't around.
Oh man, that's a tough one. That is a
Yeah, it was
tough one.
rough, man.
Did you catch
Yeah.
her, or was it? Did she tell you, or how did that?
There were events leading up to it, and then there was like a single night that, she went out and said she was going to be home at a certain time. She wasn't. Called her up after, "Hey, are you coming home soon?" "Yeah, I'll be home in a little bit." And this was around like 11 o'clock, and then 3 a.m. I still haven't heard from her. So I called her up again. She said she fell asleep at her friend's house, all good. Uh, then she got dropped off. I went outside just to kind of see where she was going to get dropped off, and she got dropped like behind our house instead of in front of it, which was weird to me.
Yeah,
And
that was like one of the signs.
I just kind of like put two and two together, and then we split up, and I was paying for rent in Philly, and I was putting myself up out in Belmar, so I could be closer to work or whatnot. Um, Went out to Philly one night to get some stuff, and walked in my door, and I found some like 18-year-old kid on my couch, like drinking, smoking pot with my son's mother. My son is sleeping like a few doors down. Like
Oh
I,
man,
lo- I lost my shit, flipped the table, stole his shoes, and left.
stole his shoes.
Oh, I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to physically hurt the child because he's a child. I'm like 30 some years old at this point. I'm not gonna like beat the shit out of an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was so enraged. I just stole his shoes.
Oh
It
man,
was the middle of winter. I stole his shoes and I left.
that's an interesting one. That is interesting. I respect it. I respect that you didn't get into a fight. You just took his shoes. Me and my friends one time had and I'm just interjecting this out of nowhere, but we were on a cruise, and one of them wouldn't give me. We had cookies, and we were fishing over a boat, right? So he was
Right
like,
on.
I'm like, give me one of those cookies. I got to throw it up because just dry heaving is the worst. He's like, I'm not wasting one of these delicious cookies on you to throw up. I was like, you know what? I swear to God, when we get back to our cruise ship, I am going to shit in your shoes. Only one of each of your shoes. Like that was that in my head. That was my plan. I was like, I didn't want
Yeah.
to hurt. Same thing. I didn't want to hurt him, but I was like, I'm just going to shit
Yeah.
in one of each of your shoes just to make you as uncomfortable as you could be. So I totally get it. Sorry.
That's it.
Back to the story. Catch this 18-year-old. Bang. Now move on. Now where does it go from here?
Anyway, so at this time I was a store manager for Zoomies. Um, where was I? I don't know. Where are we? This is just like going through like everything, I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was a store manager for Zoomies. We split. I was, she was out there. I was out here. Since then, for the past 10 years, every single Friday I drive out and pick up my son. Every single Sunday I drop him off. Unless it's summertime, then I pick him up Thursday, drop him off Sunday. So for 10 years, I've been driving out to Philly every single weekend, 2 ways.
Wow, to see his son.
He's my man. What else am I
Which
going to do?
which is good. You being a good like father figure, especially after all that you had been through and this and that. I feel like that's a big thing.
I,
Like
I mean,
yeah, you didn't have it, so you really want to provide it. I feel like that's big, right?
I wanted to be a dad since I was 18 years old. It's like the one thing I knew I'd be good at.
Really? And I bet you are,
Yeah,
right? I feel like you connect with
I
them.
feel
Like I feel like that's
I
big.
feel like I'm a good dad.
Good.
I
That's
do.
that's important, man. That's important. So
Sometimes
now,
I don't, but I mean, I'm sure every dad feels that way at some point. At some point,
yeah, and they don't come with a book, right? Like you
that's
don't
it,
know what to
man.
do when you get them. So
And
I'm sure
especially,
it's
I didn't have a manual. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
You didn't have a
I
blueprint. You
didn't.
didn't have like that
That
previous
is.
blueprint.
So
Yeah,
it's
man.
I was raised by women. I was raised by my mother, my aunt, my grandmother.
Yeah. So how do you and your ex and your baby's mother get along right now? Like, is they're all good?
Oh, we're civil. She's had a boyfriend for like 5 years now. They live together. My son has a stepbrother, pretty much. Like
Yeah.
they're people. They're actually taking care of my dog right now while I'm going through my little situation.
Let's get to all that too. I mean, that's even more compelling. I feel like so now you get through that. Now you're back here. Now you're doing your thing. What goes on next?
A lot goes on. That was I get back here. I'm probably 30 something. You know, I'm not perfect. I had a really bad alcoholic spell for a while, like a really really bad one.
Oh wow, I didn't
Um,
know that either.
no, yeah, I drank a lot.
Just
I
depressed and like we're in a rough
just
space
depressed
mentally.
and just depressed, lonely. Like I never really had like I said, I never really had like a big core group of friends or whatnot. So I never. I'm kind of. It's weird to think about it like this, but like my son has Asperger's. He's on the spectrum. Like so, like social
Okay.
situations for him are very difficult or whatnot. And seeing what he's going through, I clearly it might. I feel like it's genetic because like I that's how I was very exactly like him when I was very young.
Really, and I feel like you're so
Very,
socially adept. Like I feel like you do connect well with people very easily. You know, and this is just an
that's,
outsider's opinion.
no, no, and I do because I try really hard to.
Gotcha. I
Um,
think a lot of people
I
will associate with that. I think that's a big deal. You know.
Yeah, it's like I like most of the time I just don't want to I don't want to be around anybody. But like I love groups of people. But like I don't always feel comfortable around them.
Which I think the league gives a lot of an ability to be social and not be social at the same time.
I love so many people in the league because they make everything so easy. They make crowds and like situations like so easy. Like they're just a lot of people are so talkative and chill and friendly that it, it blows my mind.
I appreciate that, man. I feel like you found a good place in it. Like it's funny because you did like you were saying you had battled a little bit of like hard times with alcohol, but even in being in the environment, and I've never really seen you get like carried away, like out of control.
That's the thing. I never really do it in public. Like my alcoholism was more at home. Was more just
Gotcha.
I would drink alone just to get to sleep or just to like not feel lonely pretty much at the time.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get that, man. I get that.
Yeah.
So then I went through that, battled through that a little bit, and now
After that, all in all, what brought me to where I am today or whatnot. I met a girl
okay,
named Katie. You guys have all met her.
this was more recent.
Um, this is more recent. Yeah, yeah. Whoever knows her, it was my girlfriend that I brought to any games that I came to. Like that was the only girl I ever brought.
Gotcha.
Um, uh, we met actually back in 2003. I was a assistant manager for a store called Gadzooks, which does not exist anymore. Called
Interject real fast, sorry. Only because Heather Butts was said virtual hug Mike, sending love and hug, love your way. Lucy said you have friends,
Oh,
buddy.
right on.
Trust us. You know, Rich said good for you, like going through, like being so open and sharing all of this. I feel like it's a good story, man. It doesn't all have to be like fluff.
I
Like this is
mean,
it's a real story.
no, right on. I mean, I'm bipolar like that. Like I can be depressed, but I can be super fun at the same time.
Yeah,
Not at the
yeah.
same time, but different.
We all can, man. We all can. We all have that.
That's it. That's
So
it.
now you're at Gadzooks. Go ahead.
So anyway, so Katie at the time, she was 17, 18. She was one of my employees at Gadzooks. And we ended
Wow.
up having a connection then. We hooked up a little bit then. And then we lost touch. And then years later, 2011, October, I believe it was, I didn't even want to go, but it was weird. My ex fiance, my best friend, her and her boyfriend were at the Chubby Pickle, and they were like, "Hey, come out because me and my ex fiance were friends before anything, so
Gotcha.
we would always be friends. Um, so they were like, come out to this pickle, blah blah, and I was like, I was living in Long Branch at the time. I had this little apartment in Long Branch, and I was like, no, too, like whatever. And they were like, oh, just come out. So I ended up going. I'm in Chubby Pickle. It's it's whatever night. It's like open mic night or whatnot. Um, and I look over and I see this girl in a leather jacket, and she's there, and she looks so familiar. I keep telling my friend she looks so familiar, and then it clicks in my head who she is, and then she walks over, and I was very drunk at this time. um, she walks over and she's like, "Hey, is your name Michael?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Is your name Katie?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "We had sex."
Oh wow. There you
I
go.
just blurted that out. And then she looked very offended, which she should have, and walked back to her friends. And my friends berated me for a while and were like, "What are you doing?" Like, and I was like, it's just the first thing that came out of my mouth. I can't believe I said that." And then I walked over to her, apologized, bought her and her friends shots, and then we ended up starting a relationship. Um, we were together for almost 4 years, lived in Atlantic Highlands. We were the couple that everybody wanted to be. We were the couple that, like, sometimes you see a couple that it's like, oh, how are they so happy? Fuck them. Like, that was us. We just like had inside jokes and we were great. Um, the end of 2000, I guess 18 at this point. Holy shit. The end of 2018, we were having a little bit of problems. I noticed me and her were always drinkers. Like we were in the bar industry. We worked, we were both bartenders. Um, so, we drank, we made drinks. We had to taste them and whatnot. And, we drank at home, we drank at work, all that.
Yeah.
Um, she started like getting a little more out of control. Like she would drink and like when she woke up, she would like go to the bathroom, have a shot, come back to bed. And I started noticing things like that. Um, and then I guess February 2019, she was at work and one of her eyes went crossed, like out of nowhere. Um,
Wow.
it just went crossed out of nowhere. She couldn't figure it out. And then in the few days and weeks coming, she started like not remembering things. Started not remembering orders. She started like becoming unbalanced. Uh, and so she couldn't work as many shifts. And so that put a huge burden on me. No, not burden, and that's the wrong word to say. It put it on me to kind of like, cover everything because,
Yeah.
we were living together. We had a dog and all that. Um, but then it got worse. She couldn't work at all. She had no balance. She had no memory. Then I started to notice that her eyes started to go yellow. And that's
Wow.
when I took her to the hospital the first time. And she wasn't, apparently I wasn't in there with her, but apparently she wasn't, honest about her alcohol intake. So they diagnosed her with MS,
Oh
actually.
wow.
Gave her medications, all that jazz. Um, we got home. She never was one to take any like even Tylenol, anything. She hated medication, so she didn't take any of the medication that was given to her.
And how old is
And
she
she
at
was
this
still,
point?
33,
Okay.
33, young. Um, and she was still drinking, and I kept telling her to cut down and whatnot. And then it got real bad. Her skin, like her arms, everything turned yellow. Took her back to the hospital. I guess she was honest this time. You know, she was having kidney failure, liver failure. It was the beginning stages of that. Um, and she got different medication obviously for it, and
Yeah,
was told
absolutely.
not to drink anymore and all that. We got home.
Was it diagnosed
Um,
like cirrhosis or something of
it was the beginning stages because it wasn't full blown yet, but it was like her
yeah.
her skin was jaundiced, like she was jaundiced. She was completely her eyes were yellow, her skin was completely yellow. Her stomach was completely distended. It looked like she was 9 months pregnant. But like but yet her arms and legs were so skinny.
Gotcha.
and got home. I would count her medication every day. She didn't take her meds at all whatsoever. Um, and that and she would look worse and get worse every day and still drink every day. I would tell her, "You're going to die. Please stop. You're going to die." And her response would be, "I don't even care anymore. I don't care anymore. Let me die. I don't care anymore."
Oh
I didn't know
wow.
what to do. I didn't know what to do at that point. So I actually called up one of those anonymous like addiction hotlines to kind of see what direction they could point me in. Um, and I told them everything, and they pretty much said, "Look, if you can get her to the hospital and you can tell them the things that she's telling you, they can, I don't know what the number is. They can keep her for 48 hours to like watch her, and then maybe she can make a decision from there." I knew that she would never go to the hospital on her own. So after that phone call, I actually walked down to the police station, the Atlantic Highlands police station. I talked to an officer, and I was sitting in the room with him, and I was like, "Listen, I don't know what you can do, but
Yeah.
this is what's going on, and I don't want her to die." Um, so he ended up making a call to Monmouth Medical Center, and they sent an evaluator out, and the officer also came. Now, our upstairs neighbor was having issues. Actually, this officer has been to our house and spoken to her like a month earlier. So when I was telling him all this, he wasn't really fathoming what I was talking about. They got to the apartment. They saw what she looked like. They saw how she was, and they made her go to the hospital. She's been in care since July of 2019, last year. She's
Okay.
been she was on constant dialysis for months. I'm really close with her family and her father and everything. Um, so actually, the day after she was admitted to the hospital, her father called me and thanked me because the doctor said that if she hadn't come to the hospital in like maybe 2 more days, she would have been dead in bed.
Wow.
It was that bad. Um, so that was the end of that. Pardon me. That was the end of that.
No, it's okay, man.
But I mean, I still go there. I bring, I visit her, see how she's doing. She's not on constant dialysis anymore, which is good. Uh, she was going away like 2 or 3 times a week to get dialysis from the rehab center she was in. But now she's on, I think it's called paracentesis. I could be, I don't know. I'm not sure of the word. I apologize. But it's where she gets dialysis when she sleeps. This way she doesn't have to go anymore. So I've been checking up on her. Her family is still close with me. Actually, Nip and Tuck, her sister is actually the new owner of the Nip and Tuck,
Oh wow. That's
which is
crazy.
very interesting. Yeah, my life's fucking really intertwined like that.
Yeah. You get like pushed into area to area. Wow. I didn't know that either. That totally took me by shock. I had no idea.
Yeah, Bob, like Bob, he actually not one of the owners anymore. He sold to Christine.
Yep.
So now it's Jamie and Christine.
Gotcha.
But we're still having poker there once the shit ends.
As
Sunday
soon as this
nights.
is over, that's the truth. That is the truth. Sunday nights, and you are the bartender there on Sunday
I am the
nights.
bartender. I'm the best goddamn bartender in Monmouth County.
There you go. And people are having a great time. I feel like you are on a very steady growth with us in that bar. The
Yeah, I mean, started off with like 20 plus, then very close to 30, then 30 plus. So, I mean, just keep telling everybody. We have awesome food specials, awesome drink specials. Come on down and see us.
Absolutely. Now I don't want to pull
I'm
you
gonna
back
pour. I'm
into.
gonna pour some more vodka. Hold on one second.
All right, go ahead. Careful there. Now after all these conversations, you got me almost not drinking
No,
as
I
much
mean,
of
I
it.
mean, the thing is, like, that's like the footnotes. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
if you want to get detailed, there's so many more weird, odd details. I've had a threesome with sisters.
Wow. That's a good
I've
one. We're gonna save that one for the Ryan Danella late night. We're gonna bring you on again late night. We're gonna
one,
keep this one in the real
one of
world.
them, my ex fiance.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
Stuff. I mean, yeah, shit like that. I mean, yeah, I was arrested for burglary when I was 15.
Oh wow.
Um,
That's another solid
yeah,
story.
yeah, man, Union Beach, guns drawn on me and everything. It was great.
Wow. In a
Pocket full
house?
of change in a house. I stole change. My friend stole cocaine.
Oh wow. That's an intense one
15.
too. 15 years old. You have a how I'm gonna give you the Karen Panza question. How many arrests? Was that your first arrest? Only arrest? Or have there been more arrests?
There's been a couple arrests.
All right, there you go.
I mean, that was I believe that was, yeah, that was my first one.
There you
Um,
go.
yeah, I got arrested in front of Santa Claus once. Um,
Oh my God, you must have been put right on the naughty list.
in the Mama's Mall, yeah, he was like, fuck. Um, yeah, I mean, got arrested at a house party when I was 19 for being too drunk, sleeping in a car.
Nah, that's an easy one. That's an easy one.
Yeah, that's nothing.
The all right, I don't want to draw back into the story, but now when all this was going down, I know there was a lot more. I don't know how much you want to share or not, but I think
No,
everybody's
open
appreciating
book.
how. Yeah, man. So now I know you were going through a little bit of a tough time towards the end of this, where when all
Yeah,
that was
so
happening.
the
Put
whole
us
thing
in.
is like, so what happened with my ex? She has obviously been hospitalized, so we were in a two-bedroom apartment in Atlantic Highlands, $1,600 a month. Easy for two bartenders when there's two of us. Um,
Yeah, bartenders do well.
yeah, but when it was all put on me, it got kind of shitty. Um, my I picked up odd jobs here and there. I was we met because of her hospitalization. We actually missed like July and August rent. But when I spoke to the landlord, he said he would take it out of the deposit and I could pay him back and whatnot. It was great. Um,
Gotcha.
but then he flipped his shit on me and took me to eviction court. So he made a deal in eviction court that I would pay $2,000 a month going forward to kind of like pay the 1,600 and start paying back like whatever we
Back
owed
owed
for
rent.
whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah, totally. I pulled it off for a few months, and then I was at Traumas in Highlands, and they cut everybody in October, and I was out of a job, and then I ended up getting evicted, like straight up, like court evicted in December. I moved an entire two-bedroom apartment into storage by myself. I had to give my dog to my son's mother until I can find a and you know I was never, like I said, responsibility was never my thing. My credit score is not great,
Yeah.
and tough to find an apartment. So I've been kind of, you know, I guess the word is homeless, living in my car for a few months. Being able to stay places here and there when I can. Um, but but yeah, that's been my situation. Hopefully, I have you know, things are looking up. I have a place hopefully set up for April 1st.
Which is good.
But with this whole coronavirus thing, no money's coming in, so I don't know how that's going to work out.
I know this is a tough situation right now.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
So
And being a bartender, I'm not on the books, so I'm not really eligible for any of this federal money coming in. So yeah,
yeah.
it's a tough sitch, but it is what it is. This is life I chose.
Yeah. And you'll get through it, man. You're definitely gonna get through it. You're one of the good ones. Cheers, sir. I'm gonna take the glass in a minute. I very rarely leave frame, but I might do that to have a shot with you. We definitely will do that. The so now, yeah, I think things were starting to swing on the back up before this whole coronavirus. Are you getting more shifts? Do you still have like a decent amount? I know you here and there,
Well, the
right?
thing is, I was well with the owner leaving or whatnot. He used to work Thursday nights, Saturday nights, whatever. So all in all, worst comes everything said and done, I was gonna have like instead of two shifts, 5 shifts in Nip and Tuck. I was gonna be set, good to go with shifts. But now I'm down to one takeout shift a week because they're trying to be give everybody at least a shift a week, all the bartenders or whatnot.
Yeah. What is that takeout shift? Just so we let everybody know to make sure they order from you, and we try to keep
Nip
you
and
as
Tuck,
busy.
man. Best burgers, best wings in town. Long Branch will deliver, I believe, 10-mile radius. I think.
Okay. And
Let
we
me
have a
double
good
check on
player
the
base
website.
over there. And then what day is
But
it? What
yeah,
day are you
but
there?
hey, if you're listening, I know you're right around the corner. Come get some burgers from us.
Who is that? I missed that.
Wendell,
Oh, Wink. Wink is in there.
Wink,
He actually checked in a minute ago to say hi and what's up. I'm gonna
right
read
on, my
you off
man.
some of the comments
You
just
and
to
your
have it.
son, come down and get some burgers.
Yeah, man. And then Carrie said she thinks Mike might have more crazy stories than Karen. We might have to have you guys on together another night so that we can go crazy story for crazy
I mean,
story.
if you want to get deep into stories, I can be more detailed.
We are gonna do that one night. I 100%. And then see, Lucy said she always has a couch for you to sleep on. Don't sleep in the car,
Right
which is
on.
very, very
I
cool of
appreciate
her.
that. The big thing is I miss my dog, man. I miss my dog. I've been away from my dog for like 3 months. I get to see him every time I pick up my son, so I get to see him, twice a week. But I still miss my dog sleeping in my bed with me.
I remember, man. I mean, when you were going through it, I only had a slight insight into everything that was going on, and you shared with me, and I felt very honored that you would let me into your situation like that. And I really, I appreciate you telling everybody else because I feel like this is a big thing. Like they're getting to know you. But I remember saying to you, you were like,
It's like
I need a place, but I need it to be dog friendly. Like when
that's
I was
it.
calling around, I was like, if you have something, I have somebody, but it has to be dog friendly. So it was,
That's it. And that's tough in a lot of places, man. Which I get,
yeah, especially like a month to month ones when you're just jumping in. I know that it had to be
Yeah,
tough. So I remember seeing you and you were like, because I was trying to get you on shifts with whatever you could with us too, and you were just
yeah,
like heartbroken. I feel like the dog was definitely a tough one. And I remember you coming out, man. And you
yeah.
know what, Mike, I want to commend you like 200%. You were in such a tough situation. Some people are like, oh, some not everybody knows everyone's situation. Mike, you always came out. You always supported the bar, took care of the bartenders and waitresses, even in
It's
this
one of my
in the
favorite things
middle
in the
of your
world.
storm. Yeah, man. In the middle of your storm that was going on, I appreciate that. That's who you are. And there's a lot of good people out
No,
there,
I
man. We
appreciate you
appreciate
guys
you.
for being there for me in my storm. You know what I mean? Like if I didn't have something to do on those nights, I don't know what I would do.
I appreciate that, man. We want to be something positive and like a positive influence across the board. I feel like 100%. Like you're one of the good guys. We have a lot of the good guys in our league, and I feel like a lot of people don't know their stories. Like from the outside, I don't think anybody in this crowd knew all of that stuff that was going on for so long, man. And then hopefully we get back on this uptick. From a bartender perspective, what are you thinking about this whole situation
I
that's
mean,
going
it's
on over
tough,
there?
man. There's nothing we can really do at this point. I mean, it's all takeout, so
Yeah,
you don't really cook and a counter person if you're doing anything like that. Um, luckily at our place, it's only the cook is the counter person.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So at least you get that shift
but I
ticketed in a
mean,
little bit.
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go and see what I can do, man. I'm gonna go apply it. I mean, not apply. I mean, yeah, I guess apply it like shopper. I mean, anything that's essential. I guess I'm gonna go and apply it to see if I can make some money.
Yeah, and try and be in one.
I've been playing online poker, but you guys all know how bad I am.
That is right. We'll get you into the free rolls to begin. Let's see if we can
Mister
build
Eight
it.
Five.
Let's build a bankroll from the free rolls first. So
However, I am a TOC winner.
you are. You know what? Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk about some of the positives, man. You are
Let's
one
talk
of
about the
our.
TOC that night.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about the TOC. Let's talk about your experience in Vegas. You people might not know this, but you actually cashed out, right? Like 1,700 and
Absolutely,
change.
about 1,700 and change. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
TOC,
I
man.
remember that. That was a great one. That was a great one.
That
You
was a
played in
that was a
Colossus,
good time.
right?
That
Tell us.
was actually one of the best vacations I've ever had in my life.
I love that. Like, I really feel honored that we could help be part
Dude,
of
you
that.
understand? I flew out to Vegas by myself, stayed in a hostel for 5 days, but not like a shitty like hostel where you get your ankle slit. Like I stayed in a hostel. It was nobody. It was one other person in my like 4-person room. It was amazing. The hostel had a pool. It was $15 a night. I
Oh
stayed there
wow,
5 nights. I played my game. I won. I played other games. It was great. My girlfriend flew out, met me. We rented a brand new convertible Mustang, drove through the desert to her sister's house to LA. It was fucking beautiful.
awesome. That's awesome. That is so killer.
It was a blast. That was a great vacation.
Yeah, man. And that was all from that timely night at the TOC when you took it
That's
down.
it, man. Trip Jacks.
Trip Jacks. You remember the hand? Do you remember who you beat?
Oh shit! I remember there was a big north-south argument going on.
Yes.
You know what? Anybody who wants to see who I beat can look up the video on the Down to the Felt website. It's right there. I
Yeah.
watch it often.
There you go. You know what? I'm gonna put that link up post this interview for sure.
That's it.
John
TLC winner.
Bogelman said, "Much respect, Mike. Way to stay dedicated to making the best of all situations instead of just giving up. You've got this,
Hey,
man." He said, "Mamba mentality." Kerry Panza. He was like 51 or 52 in the standings when he won that TOC. Way to take advantage of someone not showing
so it's
up.
51. I was 50 fucking one. I'm glad I came that night.
Yeah, man. See that? You weren't even in the top 50. You were able to squeak in from somebody not showing. John
That's
McCabe
it.
said, "Glad he could pop in for a few minutes. When I show up
Thank you
for
to one of
cards,
the
seeing my."
Northerners that couldn't make it to Bar A that night.
Yeah, man. He said, "When I show up seeing cards, Mike has always put a smile on my face. Thank you for every moment, even in the moment." And yeah, Heather Butt said whatever she could do to help, she's definitely down to try to help as well.
Appreciate
And
you, girl.
yeah, man, I appreciate this story, man, because I mean I enjoy like some of our craziness that we do go through, and we will have you on again for some craziness stories because I think you have a ton of them that
I
are
kind of
mixed
do.
into all of this. But we're really getting to know the real you, which I appreciate just as much, man. The
I appreciate that, brother.
I do. I do. I feel like that's a big thing, man. Like everybody knows you as a very like friendly face and one of the one of the good guys, 100%. And then I think it's nice that people get to see behind the scenes. We pull the curtain back on like it's just not a poker player or it's just not another guy I'm taking shots with a lot, which is
No,
cool.
right on, man. I mean, yeah. Everybody has emotions. They're all up and down. Like I've been dark. I've been light. Like everything, man.
Yeah, yeah. How's your son doing? Tell us a little bit about him too, because we touched base on baby's mother, but
Dude, he's great. He's
yeah,
amazing. Like, yeah. Like honestly, like he's the best artist I've ever seen in my life. Well, I mean, for 10. Um, but I mean, not even for 10. Like the kid draws. He creates stuff. On his thing that's just like incredible. I know like a lot of kids do Fortnite or whatnot, but I mean, he gets real intricate with it. It's real
yeah,
weird. He's very detailed, kind of like I am. Like I said, like I see a lot of him in me when I was a kid. You know what I mean?
yeah. No,
Um,
I feel that connection. I actually have a nephew that
he's,
is that is also spectrumish, and he like I get him. Like when he says things or he thinks things, I'm like I get it. Like
it's
I
like
feel
yeah,
the
it's like
same
other
way.
people don't, but it's like no, I totally yeah. All right, cool. Like yeah, he's my
Yeah,
son is the most amazing. Like he's gentle. Like he's a stocky kid. He's a big kid, but he's a gentle giant. I mean, he's just like he's like his dad. I mean, he's if he wanted to, he could like tear your head off, but he won't because he wants to hear your side of the story.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that's how
yeah.
he is.
He might just take your shoes because sometimes things need to be done. That was one of my favorite
Well,
quotes.
the doctors say he's going to be bigger than me, so he's going to need different shoes.
Wow, I didn't mean those shoes. I said he's not gonna tear off your head. He's just gonna take your shoes.
Oh yeah, oh gotcha, right on.
I feel like that's one of my favorite lines from
That's
this
what's
entire
called a
interview.
callback.
That's the truth, man. But yeah, man. So it's so crazy. So now, what year did you TOC it? I feel like you're in the running most of the time as well, man. A lot of
I
nights.
it's been falling off like lately, but it was before I was with Katie because it was the first year I was with Katie. So it was 2000, I believe 2010, 2009. It was summer season, I
Wow.
believe.
Wow. I didn't even realize it was that long ago. Because you were a
Yeah, yeah.
Colossus guy, right? You were one of the Colossus guys. Cause,
Colossus, yes.
yeah,
Because I didn't
sick.
get my hotel and airfare paid for, so
Yeah,
yes.
because you were a summer season. And that's back when we didn't do
Oh, is that
exactly.
all summer season?
Summer season only got the seat. We were actually supposed to get
All
a
right, okay.
Borgata seat, but I remember being like, you know what? If you'll go there, Colossus is cool for the seat. And then you're like, yep, we're gonna make it
Oh, right
happen.
on.
And then you cashed. That was sick.
Yeah, I did. It was a good time.
Yeah, man. That would it makes it that much better. Like hearing the whole story, I feel like that totally makes it that much better. And I
It
feel
was
like people
amazing, dude. Your league has been I'm gonna say godsend because whatever, but let's say like your league is awesome, man.
an
Like
escape,
this league
yeah.
it totally is. It completely is. Like if I because I'm not in my 20s. When I started the league, I wasn't in my 20s, so it's like I don't want to like go out and party, but I want to go out and be social and I want to have drinks and I want to do something fun.
Have
And
a
this
good
is
time and
yeah, it was
laugh.
perfect. It was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate all the players, but I feel like I really appreciate you sharing your story. A lot of people wouldn't open up this much to this many people, and I think that's
I
a
mean,
great quality.
if any one of these people that's watching asked me, I would tell them the exact same thing. So
Yeah, yeah. Now they're just able to peer in. And you're helping a lot of people out. I mean, in this time anywhere, I feel like we got to help out the bartenders and the servers. We're gonna make sure we get you on this with Reezy and stuff. I feel like that'll be cool.
right
I'm
on.
I'm
I mean,
trying to.
yeah. I mean, this is what we do. I mean, uh, some people look down on bartenders. Like, I mean, some people look down on bartenders like, oh, why don't you get a real job, blah blah. But I mean, in reality, we don't save as much as we should. But bartenders make fucking decent money most of the time.
It comes
But
fast. It comes
so it's
fast and
like
goes fast a lot of the time, right?
exactly, exactly. But I mean, like bartending is a real thing, and it sucks that we're probably not. Some bartenders are off the books, like me. I'm not going to get any part of this like Trump money.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's tough.
I hear you on that. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this is a tough time for a lot of service industry, a lot of entertainers. They're part of a different.
Anything that's not selling food or trafficking or anything like that.
Yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
If anybody's out there too and knows of somebody's positions hiring or something going on, we'll definitely keep you in the loop to let you know.
I paint. I'm an excellent painter. I
Lucy
paint
said she will.
houses. I paint everything.
She said she will teach you to save. It's her superpower. And then
Oh,
Lukács actually said this takes guts to really open up like this. We appreciate that. Mike, with all the shit that ends, if you want a part-time job, he's going to be looking for people at Dick's. So as soon as it slows down, if you want to do it outside of bartending too, he's with it. He's a good man.
Right on. I mean, retail's part of my life too, man. I was a store manager for Journeys and Zoomies.
There you go. There you go. And then Luzu said the same thing. She was like, "Please take us up on your offer if you need anything. They're definitely out there." You know what I appreciate is that as a
All you guys.
family, like we really do. I think that's the most important thing to come together, like across the board in any situation. It's all about coming together. And
That's it.
Heather, same
You know
thing. She
what?
said she wants to help out. Food Town hasn't had an open ad on Facebook. Lukács, look at that. All right, we'll keep talking
Right
about
on,
this.
guys. I appreciate all of you, man. But I mean, I'm surviving right now. I'm okay. So if you guys can afford your efforts to like anybody that's like in dire need, please do that instead. I really,
Yeah.
really appreciate all of you guys. But like, there's plenty of people that need help way more than I do right now.
Yeah, man. Well, see, that's why you're one of the good guys, man, because it can always be worse. I feel like people,
Completely. That's always in my mind. It can always be worse.
yeah, people don't notice, like they don't realize that when they're in it. Sometimes people get too self-consumed and they don't see that could be way worse. We have to be thankful for our blessings, no matter what those blessings are, right? I
No
feel
doubt.
like that's a big deal.
Absolutely. 100%.
Actually, you know what? I want to check on Keith too. He actually chimed in. Keith Rogers. He said, "What's up to you?"
What's
And
going on, my man? How you feeling?
yeah, man. I actually asked him how he was feeling. He's like, "I'm not trying to steal an interview. I'm just here to listen," which was super nice of him too. I feel like he's going through it right now. He was our
You're not
first
gonna
one.
steal shit from me, pal.
That's right. He's got too many stories. He'll pick it right back up. Pick it right back up. The look at that. Lucy said, "Let me know what day you're working. She'll drive down for a pickup." How is the food in there? And are you close enough to Nip Tuck? We're gonna have to get you involved with that as well.
I'll deliver you a burger, my man.
There you go.
With gloves on.
What day are you there? What day are you nip tucking right now?
I'll be there on Sunday.
All right, he's gonna be here this Sunday. That's our usual day that we're there.
I'll be there this Sunday. If you guys want to order from me, I'll be making your burgers, your wings, your wraps, fucking grilled cheese of the week.
Do they do like
on our website. Guys.
Do they do it like a 6-pack to go with the? I saw there was like a nip
We
tuck
have
special.
we actually have a deal going on right now. If you guys want to pick it up, 2 burgers and a 6-pack for $20. Insane.
Can't
2
beat
burgers
that.
and a 6-pack.
2 burgers and a
wings,
6-pack.
6-pack, $20.
There you go. I think that's perfect on Sunday. I'm sure we could get some people to make sure. Remind me to promote that 'cause while you're on shift. I'll make sure I go live or I'll do like a little snippet during the day and make sure that people know that's the day to do it. Yeah, man, that's what it's all about. It's all about like trying to do better. Help everybody out. I said the same thing. I want to give a shout out to Ryan Danella. I'm gonna give a little insight on me right now, right? And this is why I really appreciate that, man. I didn't see it coming out of nowhere. Today he sends me he Venmos me a couple dollars and he's like, get your wife order in for something. So I was like, don't send me anything. He's like, too late. I already Venmoed you. You can't say no. So I was like, oh man. I'm like, Ryan, I don't need. He's like, listen, you're at because I'll give you insight on my end. My business stands still right now, right? And my wife with her job, they ended up laying everybody off until this passes, right? So I'm like, don't worry, I could weather this storm. I'll be all right. I'm like, do that for somebody else. He's like, you know what? If you're not he's like, if you don't want it, he's like, just pass that along to a server or this or that. Yeah, which I appreciate, man. He is good men, like both of you, very good guys. Like I feel the same way. Like I'm like, people are definitely in more need in some areas, and we want to try and help those people. So any of those people,
like I have a roof over my head. Like I'm not sick. Like I have enough food. Like I'm okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Heather Butts as well. She was telling me anybody that needs anything, she's gonna give me a link. I'm gonna make sure I get that link up on the site. That she has a non-for-profit organization that's set to help people in these situations or in the current Corona situation. If they can't go out to get food or they need this or they need that, we're gonna get that link up so that anybody that's in that situation. Because listen, anybody could be in a bad situation. So if you need it,
I did a link as well. But one of the new owner with my ex's sister, Christine. I love you, Christine. She's an amazing person. We've always got along. But she actually set up something for the Nipatuck bartenders. It's like a GoFundMe or whatnot. So if you guys want to check that out, it's all good. I'll try and send Tom the link.
Yeah, man. If you could shoot me that link, I'll even get it up in this in this YouTube. That way they could go on it and click it as well. I think that'd be dope.
Appreciate that. Right on.
Yeah, man, I'm all about that stuff. I feel like that's what we're really doing this for. As much as we are doing it to entertain and keep everybody engaged, we want to be as helpful to everybody that we can be. So let me see if I have any other comments running through. Lucy Sunday, so now that you know, if you want to go down and grab a bite, that's a good pickup time for that 2 for 20. That'll be perfect. A nice and Heather said a nice person would say exactly what you're saying. Right on, Mike. You're not alone. Said Steady Eddie. We appreciate that, guys. We appreciate everybody checking in for
Right
this
on. Good
interview
for you
too.
guys. I appreciate all of you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna have you on another night so we can go story for story. You versus Karen. I feel like that'll be an epic battle because I feel like this could get real good. Your after dark
I would love to
session.
try and one up her.
Yeah, I agree. We're just gonna go back and forth. I'm gonna have the crowd rate it. I'm gonna have the crowd rate it. I think that'll be hysterical. Well, maybe you know what? Maybe we'll do like a little game show type of thing with all the bartenders and servers. Just pick one from each, and you're included in that. And then we'll do a best story, and we'll start awarding like money, bang, 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 and start handing it out. So we'll take up a collection for that. And we'll do that. I think that might be cool.
That works.
And that's a perfect place to put Ryan Danella's money for me. So I think that could be a really good time. Everybody else shots up. Mike's doing a shot, so you guys could do it with them out there. Usually I have the cup in my hand. I'm the worst right now. I'm slacking on my macking. And then Heather said she can also put it up on her site for the Nip Tuck bartenders. Definitely send that link over.
Right on.
And yeah, man. Yeah. So let me see where we at. We got about 10 minutes left of this. So anything else you want to touch base on? I don't want to lead you the whole way through the story, but you've given us a lot so far. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I feel like I know you much
you know
better.
What? Do me a favor. Ask me something specific because I'm bad at like being vague.
All right, guys. We got 10 minutes. You can give me some specific questions. I'm going to field them from the audience.
Anything.
Shoot them at them.
Never mind.
There you go. Back up and on. All right. They're going to see that as we go. All right, guys. I don't know if you heard me, if it was frozen during it, but it looks like our stream health is back up and lively. Excellent connection. There we go. And you guys can ask any question you want. There they go. Lukacs said we froze. We're back. So ask any question you want. We have 8 minutes left now after that freeze. Any question you want, he's willing to answer totally honestly. So if you don't want to hear it, don't ask it. So make sure you ask it now. You know what? I'm gonna throw you a couple of the a softball while we wait for them to ask.
All right, yeah.
Top 10 in the league. Go ahead. Top 10 best.
Oh goodness, top 10. Oh God. Jose. I'm not doing any order.
No order. These are just top 10.
Jose,
gotcha.
Eric. Karen's good when she plays.
Wow, Karen made your top 10. All right.
Yeah, Karen's good when she plays. Ryan, obviously, when he plays, he's fucking great. Tone Bone, you can't fuck with. I don't care what anybody says. Like the dude's got the most fucking wins. Like, Tone Bone somehow wrecks shit, and it's great.
He does.
Goodness gracious, me.
I like it. Go ahead. Got 4 left.
Nuggets real good because he's a thinker.
Shout out Staten Island.
No doubt. Goodness gracious, Bernie's the man.
Feel the burn. Got him.
He's real. He's a thinker as well. He plays his cards. Big Rich. No, I'm just kidding.
Go ahead. That was about to be the upset of the night.
Goodness, you know what? Antoinette.
Dude, she actually checked in earlier and said hi.
Dude, she's always honest about what she has. She never like tries to bluff. She's always like, if I don't have it, I don't have it. If I have it, I'm gonna fucking tell you. Like, she's a good player.
Yep, and she still calls it. One more can make you a top 10.
Okay, one more.
Yep.
Glenn E. Clark.
Glenn E. Clark. This man is his head is going to be tremendous by the time I get him on this cast. That's crazy.
The man knows how to play. That's why he stopped to tournament direct.
That is the truth. Who is Heather Buss says? Who's your toughest poker competitor for you in the league? When you see 1-on-1, they usually have your number.
Honestly, Sidious. He always fucking takes me out when I'm at headliner.
That's it, Sidious right there. All right, that's a solid answer.
He always takes me out. He's a chill competitor, man. He doesn't showboat. You can't really tell when he has like an amazing hand. He's a good player. He's a real good player.
Indeed. And Vinny DeTola said, "Hey Mike, would you play 5-4 suited in poker?"
Always.
Always. That was a snap call. Snap call. Glenn deserves that. Kerry Panza just says agreed with a thumbs up to the Glenn call.
Right on.
And oh man, I think we learned more in your interview. I think you were the most heartfelt and touching, man. I think that's going to be a good one. People are going to be all about
There's
this.
more if you want to do a part two, brother.
Yeah, we are going to bring you on. The part two is going to be the crazy part two. I promise. We're going to put you versus Karen. Craziest stories.
All right.
You know what? We might have to do all the bartenders versus each other first.
She knows a reality star. I dated a reality star.
Oh man, you see this? That is great. That is great. Who's the number one person that you would not trust making you drinks?
Oh goodness gracious. Any bartender at Meatballs.
Oh man, you had a rough run there.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they were always like too weak or too. Yeah.
Shots fired. Shots fired. And let me see. All right, I'm going to give you any parting statements before we head out on this one.
I appreciate all you guys. You guys are amazing. Everybody in the league has always been friendly, cool, chill. I mean, I don't know what this recent bullshit, like
Little
before the
spike.
coronavirus bullshit, this
Yeah,
little spike of like aggression. Fuck all that noise. Like the highest level of aggression should be Olga's voice. Like that's it.
that's a pretty high level. I don't even know if I want to get it that
Yeah,
high.
but it's not mean. It's up there, but it's not like a mean aggression. I
Playful.
dig it.
I get it. I hear that. I definitely hear that. All right, man. We appreciate you, and we're hoping next time we talk. Well, we're gonna keep talking to you a lot during this. So,
Yeah,
but as we
let's
see it,
do
we're
it.
gonna see the progression of it getting better and better. Make sure you check them out this Sunday at Nip Tuck. Remember, two
Come check me out,
burgers
guys.
and a six-pack, $20. You can't beat that. And I'm just gonna throw this out there. I don't think it's a bad idea to double tip in this time when most of these servers do not get their regular wages. So if you want a $20 with a $20 tip, I think that would probably be the best. Right? It's not a bad move. And it's still better than most nights going out to grab a bite to eat and six beers.
I
Not gonna
mean,
lie.
no joke.
That's the truth. All right, Mike. Thank you so much, man. We look forward to seeing you again,
I
sir.
appreciate you, Tom.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everybody in the league, and I really appreciate you sharing your story with us. Thanks so much, man. Have a great one. Enjoy the
Take
night,
it easy, brother.
guys. Talk to you soon.